And up next here, we got a fight that I think it's kind of a difficult fight to break down, honestly. Francis Marshall taking on Isaac Dulgarian. Francis Marshall suffered his first loss in his last fight, and it was a competitive fight, but kind of got outstruck and was struggling with the movement of his opponent. And then in the third round, he finally used his wrestling, which he should have been using the whole fight, and won that round, but lost to striking in the first two. And he's had two fights in the UFC. He got the knockout over Rojas, or Marcelo Rojo, excuse me, and then he got the loss in his last fight. And he did win on the Contender Series as well. Whereas Isaac Dulgarian, this guy is kind of like an unknown commodity. He's had quite a few fights, but every single one of his fights have ended in the first round, amateur and pro. And he's just ran through guys. He's taken them down, taken their back, and submitted or finished over every single one of them super quickly. So we haven't seen him face any adversity. We haven't really seen him stand up. We haven't seen him take a punch. We haven't seen him on his back. We haven't seen anything, really from Dulgarian besides just him using his wrestling to dominate these guys that aren't on his level and take them out really quick. Marshall, has at least shown that he has good cardio. He can go 15 minutes. His striking is at least okay. But why I'm struggling with the prediction on the fight is I feel like Dulgarian looks special in a way. Like, the guy looks extremely athletic. It looks like his striking is probably going to be good, even though I've never seen him strike. It's like his movement, his footwork is on point, and probably will be at least a competent enough striker, I believe. And his wrestling and grappling looks, OP. It looks really, really good, high level. It's just, are the fighters he's fighting making him look like that, or is that really who he is? And then Francis Marshall, I'm not that impressed with the guy. He has power in his hands, but kind of a boxy stance where he's standing square. I feel like he gives up the takedowns. I feel like Dulgarian is going to be able to take him down early. And it's just like, do you think that Dulgarian is a fraud? I don't really know. I mean, he's training at elevation. That's another thing that kind of checks a box for me in terms of maybe his cardio is going to be better than people anticipate. And Marshall, he's kind of like an average fighter to me. So I'm going to go with Dulgarian in this one. I'm going to actually pick Dulgarian to get the upset. I'm just going to go with the guy that I think could be special over the guy that I think is kind of like an average workman-like fighter. It could end up looking like a bad pick if Dulgarian's like low-key a fraud, but we're still going to have to figure that out and see what happens. So I'm going to go with Dulgarian, and this fight, I mean, kind of a throwaway fight for me on the card in terms of like a bet or even a prediction here. It's hard for me to give a real solid prediction, so I'm going to go with Dulgarian, but it's kind of a wait-and-see type of fight here.